party peeps! We got a new trailer for another Ghostbuster movie, man! Come with me if you want to bust. Let's talk about the trailer. So after rumors swirling around earlier this week that we would be getting a brand new Ghostbusters trailer, it is now finally landed online. The sequel to Ghostbusters Afterlife, technically Ghostbusters 4, now titled Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. I'm going to be breaking down this trailer, giving you my reaction to it, pointing out Easter eggs here and there you might have missed. But it's not just going to be about my opinion. I want to hear from you Ghostbuster fans as well. How are you feeling on this trailer? Are you feeling the Ghostbuster hype? I don't know about you, but I feel like over the years it's kind of died down. Maybe because a lot of the Ghostbuster fan base is a little older. They probably have their own lives to get through, so they can't comment on the fan base as much. But man, I was alive and well during the Ghostbuster reboot, or even when Afterlife was coming out. Felt like there was a lot of buzz, but for this new movie, it feels kind of quiet. Either way, would love to hear what you think, but let's go ahead and jump into this trailer. So before we go into it, I thought it'd be best that we read the plot synopsis for this movie. That'll give us a better idea of what's going down in this trailer. The plot synopsis here reads, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire finds the Spangler family returning to where it all started, the iconic New York City firehouse, to team up with the original Ghostbusters who develop a top secret research lab to take busting ghosts to the next level. But when the discovery of an ancient artifact unleashes an evil force, Ghostbusters new and old must join forces to protect their home and save the world from a second ice age. And there you go. That's basically the idea we have going on here. So from the start of this trailer, we get a hot July New York day, seeing the city and its livelihood, people everywhere. I am so happy we are going back to New York for this new Ghostbusters movie. I enjoyed Afterlife and what they did there and paying respects to the old Ghostbusters, but I want me a classic Ghostbusters story. And I think there isn't anything more classic than it being set in New York, returning to the firehouse and having both the old and new actors join in. And I was kind of surprised by the scale of the threat that we have going on in this movie. So we have people at a beach just chilling when a big storm comes in, and then ice spikes coming out of the ground start trying to impale people. The city gets engulfed in this storm, ending up everywhere, leading us to the famous firehouse and that twinkle little notes that gives us chills. Literally, with the Ecto-1 springing into actions. Now, I've got a lot of questions. If we go off the post-credit scene that happened in Afterlife, we know that the firehouse and the Ghostbusters are going to be up and running again thanks to Winston. We know as of right now, he is the most successful of the Ghostbusters. He has his own company. He's essentially rich. And with his money and funding, they're able to keep the Ghostbuster stuff going. I'm curious about what this secret lab is that they have where they're keeping all the ghosts at bay, especially since the last movie made it clear that there really hasn't been a ghost sighting in several years. What made them now want to start getting back into it? It couldn't have just been the events of Afterlife, because that felt kind of secluded to that small town. Either way, I love that the trailer and the studio aren't holding back on revealing that the original Ghostbusters are part of this movie. Now, I mean, that always seems to be like the thing we wonder and speculate about whenever a new Ghostbuster movie is coming. Are the OGs involved? Can we catch a sneak glimpse of a set photo or a leak of them? It's like, no, we're not going to go through that. They're right here. They're in the movie. We'll see for how long and if any of them die. I still think back to how often Bill Murray says that if you bring me back in this world, just kill me. He wants to come back as a ghost. I would not be surprised if this is the last time we see Bill Murray alive in the Ghostbusters universe. When getting on to the returning cast members, I'm happy to see a lot of the Afterlife cast coming back. I really grew to like them in that movie, especially Podcast, and they're all looking a little bit older this time around. Most of them will also be putting on the jumpsuits, it looks like. The one I'm most happiest that is getting in that jumpsuit is Paul Rudd. The man needs to become a Ghostbuster. Other new faces that we'll be seeing that I wouldn't be surprised become honorary Ghostbusters by the end of this movie is Kumail Nanjiani. He's someone I find really funny, and it's just nice to see him included in here, as well as Patton Oswalt, who does a lot of the voiceover in this trailer. The newcomer I'm most curious with is actor James Acaster here. We don't know much about his character or his involvement in the story. I'm already seeing fan theories that maybe he's gonna be the son of Louis Tully. That's Rick Moranis' character from the original Ghostbuster movies, and look, maybe they could pull that off. I could see that with the glasses and nerdy look, and they kind of already did that with like Phoebe and Spangler and connecting them that way. If anything, I would just rather see Rick Moranis come back, even in cameo form. Either way, it looks like he'll be playing some sort of important vital character, because he's clearly wearing one of the new jumpsuit jackets here, so he becomes a Ghostbuster. It's got to be trustworthy somehow. But now getting on to the new threat of this movie, this ghost with ice powers. I love it, man. I think it is so refreshing and different for the Ghostbusters world. I'm seeing a lot of diehard Ghostbuster fans be kind of let down and disappointed that it's not Vigo returning back in the villainous role. And honestly, I don't know why you wanted that. Ghostbusters 2 was widely known for being a disappointment amongst fans. I know over the years, nostalgia and growing up with it, you're like, no, I love Ghostbusters 2. That movie's great. Comparatively now to maybe other Ghostbuster movies, yeah, but I just don't think it would have been a smart choice to once again play on the nostalgia, go back into Easter eggs and references. Like, I like that they're finally moving away from that. They got to do all of that in Ghostbusters Afterlife, and they get to kind of create their own new story now. The ice powers they're showing off here look really cool. This is still a first trailer, so the VFX aren't completely finalized. Although I think they already look nice, they're going to look so much more better in the final product. Also seeing this like quick glimpse of this ice ghost kind of forming itself together, putting on his horns. Like, I love the look of this. I think this is really cool. The little shadowy silhouette that we get of him showing how tall this ghost monster is. Also, I think is kind of a badass look. Even more with Ray in the trailer explaining the powers. That he basically chills you and kills you from fear. So if you look at this thing, you get around it and you get scared, you basically turn into a popsicle, and that does happen to one of the characters. Celeste O'Connor, who returns as Lucky in here, looks like she's going to get frozen at some point in the movie and is probably stuck that way until they can figure out how to defeat this ghost. With the effect they have of her turning all iced out, it also gives me the idea of this movie being a little bit more grounded and serious. Ghostbuster has always towed the line between comedy and kind of a drama, and that is always a difficult line to balance because sometimes you want to get more into the comedy goofy stuff, but here it looks like they have a good balance. But the thing that kind of excited me the most, which I know is probably the most random, is them getting new Ghostbuster jackets. Oh, I love me a Ghostbuster change, baby. These things I feel are already iconic looking. I dig the look of them. They're all red and very much inspired by like a firefighter's jacket. I think they just have a nice look to them, and it also gives you an idea who will be kind of like the main core Ghostbusters by the end of the movie. Paul Rudd and the Spangler family. I'm also getting a look of maybe some new weapons or gadgets that they're going to be including in here. That's also another fun part of the Ghostbuster world, is seeing what other ghost gadgets we can get our hands on. So overall, to me, yeah, this movie looks promising. Am I going to say like completely blew me out of the water and I'm jumping up and down? Not there just yet. I do feel like maybe something is missing. A little bit of the magic seems to be missing for me, but that's not a huge deal. It could just be setting my expectations a little too high. Overall, really excited to see this go down. I just hope it turns out being a good movie, because I would love another one for them to have a new little trilogy. Let me know what you guys thought about Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Are you digging the new villain? Are you liking the new look of the jackets? How much they play onto nostalgia in this movie? Anything and everything. Be sure and like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at 3C Films, or on TikTok at 3C Films. Now bust that like button, buddy, and the subscribe button while you're at it.